So the first exercise we are doing is squats, and with this you want to make sure your feet are about shoulder width or slightly further apart than that. Turn your toes out slightly and make sure you're always pushing through your heels. So the bar across your back and just coming down slowly. All our exercises we want to be focusing on contraction and feeling the muscle do the work. So come down at a 1-2 pace and push up. I have a band on here that is totally optional. It just helps activate the glutes more. And as per the plan, after you have did your set that you can do the amount of reps with, drop the weight down. So maybe taking it from 40 kilo to 20 kilo and doing another set with that. So that is what a drop set is. You drop the weight and do as many reps as possible. Moving on, we are doing hip thrusts. Now with these, you can do them in a squat rack or you can do them out with a squat rack, and you pretty much want to have the bar across your hips. I always use a pad because it is very uncomfortable, and you want to make sure you are using your legs to drive the bar up and squeeze your glutes at the top. It really helps to push through your heels, and just make sure you're not overextending your back. Make sure you are really focusing on using your heels, your glutes and your hamstrings. Then moving on, we are doing a variation of straight-legged deadlifts, but we are using a cable, and this is my new favourite exercise for targeting the hamstrings and glutes. So I stand on a raised platform just because I am quite short and it allows me to target the muscle more. So you want to really focus on hinging at the hips, so bending your knees slightly, but make sure you are really just kind of coming over with your top half of your body and really feeling the pull in your hamstrings and glutes, and then use them to pull yourself back up. So you can see again, this is a slow exercise, 1, 2, 3, and then pull up to the top and squeeze your glutes. This really does target your glutes and hamstrings like no other exercise, so definitely make sure you're doing it properly. Moving on, we have some walking lunges, pretty self-explanatory, but I like to step out slightly to the side doing lunges. I feel like it hits my glutes more. That is totally optional, it's just how you feel the exercise yourself. So using dumbbells, or you can use kettlebells, or you can use a barbell, or even plates, anything you want, and just stepping out in front of yourself and making sure your knee is never over your toes. So your foot should always be further out so that your leg is at a 90-degree angle and your knee definitely doesn't come over in front of your toes. And then we're moving on to cable pull through. So this is a really good glute focused isolation exercise. Similarly to the cables, you want to be hinging at the hips, so bending your knees slightly and just using your hamstrings and glutes to bend forward, and then pulling up through your legs with the cable. But make sure you're using your legs to pull the cable and not your arms. Just use your arms to hold it in place. But again, 1, 2, 3, and then pull that up. You can see through the leggings, the hamstrings working, your glutes working, and this is just a slow controlled exercise to really target the glutes and hamstrings and just make sure that you are feeling this exercise. My feet are quite far apart during this, and also make sure your toes are pointed outwards as well. And then for a well-rounded final exercise targeting the whole leg area, we are doing some leg extensions. So sorry for this bad angle, but my gym doesn't quite let me film in this other room as it's the busiest, but pretty much just use a leg extension machine, focus on bringing that weight up and kind of pausing for a second and then coming back down, and just make sure you are pointing your toes upwards and just feeling that in the front of your leg.